Oh my heavens. I am up from my bed after having been down all week. I am so super happy to be back. I do have a bit of a cough, but so I may cough. It may just happen. But I feel so much better, and I plan on coming on Facebook Lives this week and doing a bunch of them, and then I got knocked down on my butt. So here we go. All right. Hey, Brenda's here. All right. I'm Amy Logan. Um, I have my website's amyloganlife.com. I am a life coach. I specialize in helping people who have left the Mormon faith get unstuck from that space that's very easy to get stuck in. And I have some amazing coaching that goes along with that. Hey, Barb. Hey, Misty. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy you guys are here. Yeah, so I'm going to get to that in a minute, but I just wanted to kind of say hello and see what's up and how you're all doing. And I feel like I've literally been gone for a while. I haven't been sick this whole time because it's probably been a few weeks. I don't even know. Sometimes I get so busy with my coaching stuff that I forget to come and say hello. So I'm doing that today, and I thought it'd be fun to kind of tell you some of my favorite things and just kind of talk. Make sure you open your email today. If you're on my Letter Friday list, then you received an email today about authenticity. And I love the topic of authenticity. I love what it brings up for us. I love, especially me, like I think, where am I hiding where I don't need to be hiding? What am I doing? Where am I being authentic? When is it appropriate to be 100% authentic? And when is it okay to just be like, yeah, I don't need to go there right now. So if you guys have any areas where you are practicing being more authentic, I would love to hear it, because I know we all, doesn't matter who you are, I don't care if you're Oprah Winfrey, right? We all deal with this. We deal with how do we show up in the world. And specifically for those of us who've left our faith, there's a weird space we get into and wondering what that looks like. And so I talked about that a little bit in our email today, but I love this topic. I love it because I think especially with social media and all the things that we have, that kind of, we can put up certain faces, we can be something different, we can only show the good things. And I have a friend, and I don't know if she'll be watching this, Andrea. She's one of my Facebook friends we've met through business things, and I hope she's okay that I'm sharing this. She wrote a post the other day. I should tag her in this. She wrote a post the other day talking about, like she shared a photo of something positive. And then she said, but what you didn't know, and then she gave something that happened behind the scenes that wasn't so great. She did like, I don't know, 20, 25 of these examples, and I thought, this is so beautiful. And this falls in line right exactly with being authentic, because oftentimes the image we present in the world isn't always 100% with what's going on behind the scenes. And I think we do that to some extent just to feel better. I get that. But what I loved about what she did was, it really broke it down, and it made me realize we're all in this together, right? We all have our good days. We all have our bad days. We all have all the shitty things that happen behind the scenes that we don't share. And I just loved her authenticity in sharing that. So I just wanted to share that with you. So I would love to know, hey, Jessica, I keep thinking you're like a half an hour, 45 minutes away from me, but now I'm in California. So if you're brave enough, share with me something that you wish you were more authentic. In a way that I don't see you popping up in my thing, but hello, Erica. All right, you guys. So being authentic, stepping out into that space. And what do you do when you feel scared to be authentic? So now I'm kind of going back to what we talked about in the beginning. Do you hide? Do you lie? Do you just keep your mouth shut? What does being authentic mean to you? I think when I left the Mormon faith, I was dealt with I kind of knew how to do that, right? I had it down. I knew how to live that life with all of those beliefs. And then I found myself in a space of now what? Now what does this look like if I'm not having that be my guide in life? And testing different waters, making mistakes, messing up, finding success in other areas, finding new beliefs that just really felt comfortable for me, and finding new ways to think and be. and testing it and working on myself. I think that is so huge. This work that you guys do, we're all in the self-development life. Like, who's not trying to become a better person, right? Like, we're all in that space. And we all have to do, there's not like one size fits all, right? Misty, being authentic makes me vulnerable. Yes, I know 100% of what you mean. A lot of you've seen my YouTube channel. If you haven't, go check it out. You can type in Soul Searching Girl or Amy Logan. It should all come up, and you know my face, so that would be me. Give that some love too. I'd love to get some more views over there. But when I first shared my story, this goes back to what you're saying, Misty, about being authentic feels like so vulnerable, because you're kind of like, here's my heart. So I put my story, and I started my YouTube channel 2012 or 2013, and some of my initial videos, because it was kind of before there was this, there's a lot more people in this space now who've left the church and who are doing the YouTube thing and sharing their story, but it was literally a place for me to share my story. And it was so scary to just be like, here it is. But I felt like, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I started that YouTube channel. I did it for many reasons. One was because I never wanted someone to feel alone going through what a faith crisis felt like to me. And I thought, if anyone's up at 2 o'clock in the morning crying and scared out of their mind, I want them to see us, not that I have a normal face, but like, when I started going down my, like, leaving the church, I was so afraid of what an apostate or an ex-Mormon would be. And I thought, I have to add my face to this narrative, because I consider myself a normal. I know there's no normal, but I considered myself someone who, like, never in a million years thought this would happen to me. And then happening to me makes me sound like a victim, and I'm trying to change that narrative too, because I'm not. But I just knew that someone else needed to hear that they aren't alone. Like, the end. That's why I did it. Part two of that was, you know, when you walk this path, no one asks you why. And it blew my mind. Give me some likes or hearts if you were surprised that when you left the church, no one really asked. I was like, I thought for sure, and I don't think I ever really made an announcement. I think I told each of my family members privately. It was not really an announcement till I started blogging about it, kind of thing. But I didn't feel like I had to, like, put out a huge email or anything like that. But I thought people would ask me, because it's such a huge freaking life change, people. This was not an easy decision. And if you've walked this path, you totally know this to be true. You don't make this decision because you want to, like, go sin or go drinking or have crazy sex, or because you got offended. Like, this is the area where I went into this wanting to prove that the church was true for me. And then it led me down a whole other road I wasn't prepared for. So it's very difficult. So when no one really started asking, I thought, you know, for my posterity, and my boys were pretty young at the time, but if someone wants to know and they don't want to ask me, they can go hear my story. It's right there. And I know there are people, because they've come back years later and told me, I watched your videos. I can't believe it. I can't believe that this is you. And I find people from, like, my home ward, and, like, it's just a fascinating journey. But that's the other reason why I did it. It's there. If people are too afraid to ask me questions, because it's scary, right? It's a scary thing to ask. I guess I do know why, because at one time I would have thought, why would anyone leave the church? So that's why I started that YouTube channel. Of course, it's evolving with me as I'm evolving in my chosen path as a life coach to help other people through this. But those were genuinely the reasons why I started that. Hey, Kim. Hello. Yeah, you're here. Brenda, I loved your email this week. It's sometimes hard to show up as you are, thinking you need to be something you are, not to please others. You know, we all struggle with this. We all struggle with this because we think there's a certain, like I said in the email, like, we arrive at this place of just being totally authentic. And I think if we're honest with ourselves, we pop in and out of it, right? We feel like we should show up a certain way in this world. And Brenda, you know, we talked a lot about shoulds. and what we should do, what we shouldn't do. And that's why I put a post up earlier this week about thank you for everything. Oh, hopefully, I'm sorry if I'm making someone mad. I put up a post saying, replace should with I choose to. Replace should with I choose to. And think how that changes everything. This one thing can change so many things for you. Because when you say, I should be doing whatever it is, insert your thing, you're already creating a feeling wrapped around that thing. Where if you choose to do something, it's because you're choosing to do it. So I want you to practice that this week. That's a huge thing, to just start switching it out. Because we show up in life a certain way, and if we think it's because we have to and it should be this way, that can really taint everything, and it could put you in resentment mode and feeling overwhelmed and not good enough. So in your daily life, what are you choosing to do? What are you choosing to do to make your life better? What are you choosing to do to show up more authentic? How do you choose to show up? Right? Now, that surely doesn't mean that you have it all figured out, right? It doesn't mean that it's all going to be, sunshine and rainbows every day, because life's kind of 50-50, right? We've got shitty days, we've got good days. That's just the human experience. But you do have some control over it. You definitely have control over your brain and how you're going to think about things. So how are you choosing to show up in the world, even though some days are going to be crappy? I love this conversation. I love when I can go there with my friends. Hey, Carol and Brett's here. Yay! Carol, I really dislike words should and ought. Yes. Doesn't it change everything? You're choosing to do something. Because why? It's just a game changer. I'm using that in my life, not because I should, but because I'm choosing to. There's my cough. So sorry about that. All right. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about today, and if I'm still going to be looking, you guys, come on. What is share with me some way that has helped you show up more authentically in your life? And so when I was talking about leaving the church, when I was so afraid of that and what that was going to bring up for me, what does showing up authentic? For me, it was telling my story, which, sorry, my brain, when I'm on live, sometimes my brain goes in lots of different places. Talked about, Misty, showing up authentic makes you vulnerable. I was so scared. I was so scared to do that, to start telling my story, because I didn't know what was going to happen. And of course, there's some crappy people on YouTube, but that's just life. It just happens. I have a much thicker skin now than when I started the game a long time ago. But I knew that it could help someone. And so being authentic, even though I felt vulnerable, Misty, it gave me strength in a way that I didn't know, because then I started receiving emails and people wanted to tell me their story. And I was coaching people through this long before I was like an official certified life coach, right? It was just a part of me. And I had to do that. When you just have this thing that you have to do, and this is my life's work. This is it. And I love it. And if I let my fear of being vulnerable and going to those places and knowing that some people would make fun of me and knowing some people would put up angry signs on my, Facebook, then what? Then I'm just sitting in the closet, not doing any good, but having a pity party about myself. So that's why I also posted something like, courage is doing that thing. If there's no fear, there's nothing to be afraid of. I don't know if it falls under the courage category. Because people used to tell me I was so courageous, and I didn't believe them because I felt so scared. But I knew I had to bust through that. So I share that with you because I know that so many of you are in that space where you are wanting to be courageous. You've started down a path where you're feeling scared and you're doing it anyway. And that's where I just big virtual hugs to you, because that means you are courageous. That means you're doing it. You're following your heart. You're following your calling. And I love that about you. All right. I'm going to do a Q&A video on YouTube. And so, which of course I share here. I would love, whether you want to privately message me questions, if you want to put questions here, then I can elaborate on a YouTube video. I would love it. Um, coming up with content all the time is something I choose to do. But I love if I can get questions from you guys, and coming to my people here. I know that maybe there's something you want to explore a little more. You have a question. It could be about me. It could be about the church. It could be about my experience leaving, something that I did that helped me. Sometimes because this, I'm 14 years out now. I don't know, 13, 14 years out now. And so sometimes I need reminders, like, what was it like during this? How did you manage this? What happened? How did you get through it? What, just anything. Just let me know, because I'll do a Q&A video around that. And also, I realized that I talk about, hey, Brett, I choose to love myself for who I am instead of what I was told I could be. I love that so much. Doesn't that change everything? And you're choosing. You get to choose how you show up in the world. And we've had conversations, so I know you, Brett, and I know that that can be so hard, but look how courageous you are. And I think that when you become courageous in whatever it is, this is what I love. I just love you guys so much, because I know the struggles a lot of you deal with. And when you show up and you come here, I just love you. I hope you know that. And if no one's told you that today, I'm telling you that right now. Okay. Never apologize for tears, ever, never. Let them happen. It's just a feeling, right? All right. So I was realizing that I'm like a life coach, but what does that even mean? Okay. I coach you along in life, and I seriously love this so much that I would shout it from the rooftop. So what I do when I coach with my people, I sell a 6-week coaching package. So that's what it looks like, because truthfully, you can have a session with me and it can change your life forever. And I 100% stand behind that. But there's a series of things that I work with and tools that I teach you over time. So I've packaged it in 6 weeks. Some people choose to renew that several times, just so you know that at the door. But that 6-week gives you a total foundation of what I'm calling how to get unstuck from where you are right now. Now, it's geared towards people who have been in a faith crisis at the height of it, or even years after it. My clients are all ranges of this. But the tools aren't just for that. So I'm just going to give you that little heads up. Like, you may have survived your faith crisis and you're good, but you're still feeling stuck in other areas of your life. This is totally perfect. And so I thought I should explain that, because maybe I've been too ambiguous, and I realized I wasn't defining what that was. And I need to tell you, because this is life-changing. I sit with my clients, like I just had a beautiful coaching session. And I'm not kidding when I say, if you read that email and I said I do a happy dance, I flip and do a happy dance. This is Facebook, so I'm censoring myself. I do, because I see it happen, and it happened today, and you know who you are. I totally see it. It is the most, I don't know how to explain what happens. And this is what it looks like. This is why I sit here with my clients, and it looks like this. And we work together on getting through an issue. And sometimes it comes up the next week and we just go through it again. There's no judgment on it. There's no timetable. But I know these tools work. So that's kind of the parameters of what my coaching package looks like. You sign up with me for 6 weeks and we just go to town. We work it out. This stuff is amazing. I'm so in love with it. Choose. I love that. Brenda, choose will be my new word. Really, it changes your life. And when you catch yourself, this is the thing, this takes practice. If you're going to take the challenge, because I'm challenging you guys, I'm challenging you. There it is. There's my nasty cough. I'm challenging you to, when you say should, I want you to recognize it. Don't judge it. We have been conditioned to do that, right? We are conditioned to, I should be doing this. I should have said this. I should have done that. I should have lost weight. I should have done, whatever you pick. You're gonna start paying attention, right? Because that you want to do this in your life. You're going to start paying attention, and you're going to recognize it. And you're not going to judge it. You're just going to be like, oh yeah, I did that thing Amy just talked about, and then you're going to replace it, even just in your head, and you're going to say, oh, I'm going to choose to do that. And it just changes everything. This is huge. I want you to do that, okay? That is your challenge. Switch it out. Make a note. Keep a little notebook. Keep something in your pocket or your, like, I have all these little notebooks I keep with me. And pay attention. Pay attention to what's going on in your brain. Because most of the time, our thoughts are on the loose. And we think that whatever it is we're spiraling in is real. And then we like saute in it, marinate, that's a better word. We marinate because that's our default setting. And it's so much easier and so much more comfortable to go to what we've always done to get through a problem instead of going, no, that thought isn't even real, because you have millions of thoughts available to you. What's the thought that you keep coming back to? What are you focusing on? Because you can change it. And this goes back to this is why I love what I do. There's so much psychology behind it. We've created neural pathways in our brain that formulate everything in our life. Everything that's showing up in our life has come from some thought or some way we've been showing up in life. And so when you take the time to do the mental work that it takes, and it's a practice. It's just like yoga. I was just talking to my client today. It's just like yoga. Like when I'm not a yogi, like I don't pretend to be, but the few times I've done yoga in my life, I think, why am I not doing this? This is amazing. All right. That's a practice. You go back and you do it. If you're a runner and you get that runner's high, like that's what you're searching for. You do that because you like the endorphins that you get. You can do the same things with the thoughts that run through your head and where you spend your time focusing. And I want you to really think about this. I want you to really think about when you think about the state of the world, or you think about your past relationship, or you think about leaving the church, or whatever it is that you're going through, what are you lacing it? What story are you compounding it with? Okay, I want you to think about that because it really influences how you show up in the world, which can go back to if you're just joining us here, go back to the beginning when we talk about authenticity, and leave a little like heart or something so in the comments, so I know that you're catching this on the replay. This is just such good stuff, you guys. You are the boss of your brain. You are the boss of what's going on in there. Only you, no one else. We can't blame anyone else for anything that's going on in your brain. Period. Like full stop. Just think about that. It doesn't matter what anyone else has ever told you about you. It doesn't matter. Or what you think they're thinking about you. That's where so much fear comes up for us, because we wrap our head around what we think other people are thinking. Doesn't matter. But we've put so much emphasis on that. There's so much freedom when you can show up as who you are, even if people are going to judge you, even if people are going to be mean. That's on them. That is more about them. It has nothing, not one damn thing to do about you. So I know asking the question about, oh my gosh, this is what you get for going live. I had a brain fart, and now that thought is gone. If I sit here long enough, it will come back. Barrett, I should design, I choose. Yeah. What are you choosing? What are you choosing in your life? That's so powerful. You guys, just that alone. Let that be. Here's your life coaching for the day. Let that be your guide. I'm choosing to. Think about this. If this is like for weight loss, I'm choosing this protocol for what I'm going to eat. I'm choosing to go exercise because it makes me feel better. I am choosing. There's no should. You don't have to do anything. I'm choosing to show up that way. See what that does for you. All right, you guys, please, please, please. Oh, thank you, Carol. Thanks for giving us a place to meet. I love this. Isn't this amazing? All over the world. I love it. All right, you guys. Get those Q&As to me. I would so appreciate if you have a thought-provoking comment that you'd like me to expand upon, I'll turn it into a video. It might just be a series of questions that I just answer kind of off the hip, or I can prepare a little more for some of them because some of them take a little more digging for me, but I would be really grateful. And if you could give my YouTube channel some love, go to Amy Logan, Soul Searching Girl, those will get you there. And click the subscribe, click like on my videos, all of that gets it bigger out into the world because I've got work to do, people. I have got work to help people change their lives. I don't want you to be stuck in that phase of victimhood or blaming or anyone else's thoughts that get in your head. You take ownership of what's going on in your brain, and I've got all the tools that help you do that. So, all right, you guys, it is Friday. I made it. Like, I finally feel better today. So that's where I am. Want to get out of the house. It's been a long week inside my house. All right. Still have a cough though. You guys have a great day. I want to make sure, I think I saw everyone's comments. Brenda, being coached is the best thing ever. I got a fortune cookie this week that said the best thing you can invest in is yourself. Totally. This is real self-care. We talked about that. This is real self-care in your mind. Massages, bubble baths, all of that are fantastic and fun, but that's the gravy. When you get in and you're willing to do the work, that's where the magic happens, my dears. All right, I just love you bunches. Thanks for being here. I just love you. Have a great Friday.